Sorry about that. Let's see if you could get in. I just went live again. For some reason, it threw me off. Let's see if
What was the,
it comes up.
just out of curiosity, what was the error message that came up?
It said not enough movement or something. I don't know what that was. Let's see. I just went live now and I don't know, I don't see anybody in the feed yet. Oh, here we go. We got people. All right. Hey, Brandon. Okay, cool. We're back. Yeah. All right. I'm just going to do it on my phone, which is fine. I don't know what's going on. This was the first time we used the Logitech camera and the internet. I'm not even going to waste my time with it anymore. I'm just going to stick with the telephone. I think it's easier for me. We fooled around with this thing for a few hours today, and it gave us a hard time too. So we'll see. But thanks for all your support, Brandon, too. I saw the post you put on Facebook. Man, they looked really, really, really good. The launches you made. So me and Angela, we've been talking this week. We're probably going to order a bunch of Pistelli 68s. If anybody needs them, we may make some kits out of them. We may put them together for people that don't have them already, or maybe want a whole kit, and this way they can have a pistol one and a rifle one, which would be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, so that's this week's plan that we're thinking about doing. So, but I'm just gonna stick with this thing for now. And hey, Big B, I'm glad you're back. Yeah, I'm doing it on the phone now. This was going crazy. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and thanks. Yeah, we're trying. If there's any problems with anything, oh, so that's the thing I wanted to tell everybody too. Those followers, we've had such a pain in the neck with the freaking followers on the mag. You know, we think we got it down now where they're not breaking. We use different materials. We're making them twice as thick. But what I did notice is the stock followers for me are working fine with those. So if there is a problem, you can throw your stock follower in there. It's just when you're doing it, and it's like, this is the stock follower here. When you pull it all the way down, just hold your finger at the bottom here so it doesn't lock in the hole until the follower goes down here. Inside the launcher, that can't happen because there's a little thing in there that trips it, so it won't get stuck down there, or it shouldn't. So you could try that. Yeah, Kimba's been lacking in quality control. I agree. A lot of people I know told me this. And you know, the other day, not the other day, but maybe 3 months ago, back in December, I think it was, I was at this range and there was a used Kimba for $300. I almost bought it. I kind of kicked myself for not doing it because I would have taken that thing apart and I would have put all Wilson Combat stuff in there. And that would have been like a really nice little toy to have. That would have been really cool. Yeah. Brent, haven't had any issues with my, oh, good, you haven't, thank God. But yeah, you got the newest followers. You shouldn't have any issues. I don't know if the issue, what I was noticing, I think it was the freezing cold temperature was cracking them. Because I was thinking back a few years ago, I tried making something, tried making 3D printed those power kits, and they were getting the cold air. If you left them for like 30 minutes, they were cracking. So, but the new ones shouldn't. We used different material and made them thicker. And I do know that the followers, that's the stock ones, work fine in there as well. Do I think Trump's tariffs will have an effect on less lethal stuff? I unfortunately, well, a lot of the stuff, yeah, I think it will, because I forget who I was listening to today. I forget who I was listening to, but it had nothing to do with less lethal or lethal. It had nothing to do with, it was on the thing. And the consensus is everything, even if something is made in the USA or made in Canada, wherever it's made, there are parts of it that are made in other countries, like O-rings and, you know, the filament that we need to print these things, or the plastics that we're using in inject moldings. They're all made in other countries, and we have to order these supplies from the, even like tape and things like that. It's just, you know, it's crazy. So I do think that the tariffs, you know, are going to affect them. I don't like getting political, I will be honest with you. I did vote for him, so I make that known. And it's funny because my partner Angelo did not vote for him, and neither did my wife. But so I'm the odd duck out. I'm the conservative guy. They're more on the liberal side. And yes, we all get along and love each other very fine. And we actually have a really good relationship over here. But and I'm a little upset with these tariffs. I'm nervous about them because I don't see how they're going to work. I get the idea behind them, but I do think we're going to pay for less lethal. Yes, I think we're going to see a lot of things go up in price. And what happens when they go up? The salary doesn't seem to, and it doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat, whatever. It's just, it happens. I don't know what we're going to do. Using the 8 gram is what they Yeah. Um, you know, I wonder too how hard it's going to be to get, a lot of stuff too. We have guys now that are having projectiles made overseas. I know that's been a big topic lately, a big controversy, which I'm not against that. Like I said, things are made all over, but they might not be as cheap as the ones made here if there are tariffs. So we don't know. Yeah. Doubtful. It's mostly Taiwan, and we've got deals going on with them. Yeah, that's true too. But you know what makes me worry, and I could just be a paranoid person and a hypochondriac, but what makes me worried is when everybody else starts raising their prices, whether it's tariffs, or other people start doing it too. It's like when the gas goes up, so does the electric, because they know they got you over the barrel, and they make up some bullcrap excuse that they have to raise it because their stuff is getting tariffed, even though the stuff they're making isn't. And it's all greed. It really is. Who knows if they're lying to you or not. I mean, one of the big things, Harley Davidson now, I mean, my buddy in my club, he just bought a bike. Came out to $42,000 after taxes and fees and everything. I mean, that's a car. How do you afford to buy a new Harley? That's $42,000. That's insane. I couldn't bring myself to do it. If I hit the lottery tomorrow, I wouldn't do it on principle. I just couldn't do it. Is the X68 made in Finland or Taiwan? It is made in Taiwan. That's it. I don't believe what anybody tells you. It is made in Taiwan, 100%. They just put, marketed or whatever, or the parts are made there and it's assembled in Finland maybe, but all that stuff is made in Taiwan. And the reason, if you take it apart and look at it, the tube in there, everything up until where the chamber is, that the CO2 chamber, that's all the same stuff that's in the S2. All the stuff, I took the S2 apart and I took the what you call it, the X68 apart, the tube and everything. So it's parts that are made in China or in Taiwan or wherever. So yes. So I know they say it's made in Finland, but it's not. It's parts that are made in China. Maybe they're shipped over there. And like for a while, I know Bernard changed now, but for a while, their parts were made in South Africa and shipped over here and just assembled here in the United States. Yeah. They advertise film, but that's unfortunate. Yeah. It is a great launcher. I love the X68. I swear by it. I still haven't changed my O-rings. I don't want to jinx it. I have them in case I have to, but I don't abuse it. I don't do like 10, 12 CO2 cartridges way after each other, but it's really good. I trust Trump. It might be rough in the beginning. Well, that's what we're hoping. We're hoping it's rough in the beginning, and we're hoping that it does. We hope that the sacrifice is worth it, and we don't know. We just have to sit back and wait and see. I have four. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. 4X68s. Man, you're lucky. That's my goal. I want a whole bunch of them too. I do like them. I really do. I'm going to be ordering a couple this week, hopefully. I got my S2. Going to get yes. Listen, get the X68. Pete, if you reach out to me, we might be able to get them, at a decent cost. If Mercury Rise still has them, I think they still have a few. there's a discount code that I have, and you'll save 10%, and you'll get it for like $50 cheaper or $45 cheaper than it regularly is. So you can use my promo code. Just message me when you're ready, and I'll give you that promo code so you won't have to worry about it. I love the S2. You know, believe it or not, I take the S2 with me to work every day. So I work in this really huge development, and we have 2,500 homes, 4,200 properties, and 90 miles of road. And I do armed security in there, and we're really up in the mountains. We have a lot of Airbnb homes in there, and I carry it with me all the time because we do get like drunk, rowdy people, and it's a great less lethal sidearm. We always have problems with bear. And I think I might have said it once before. Not only do we have a rabid bear, we had a rabid deer over there. I never even believed that there were rabid deer, but apparently there are. So that was pretty crazy. So I carry the S6, S2 with me every single day to work. I have it, and I really like it. I'd love to buy the X68, but it's just not in the. Yeah, it's very expensive. I know it is. Yeah. I'm holding out hope for the solstice. Yeah, we're all holding out hope for the solstice. I hope. I just honestly purchased, or I paid for. I haven't received it yet. The Grimberg Gavel Carry, because I want to check that out. That looks pretty cool, and I have some ideas for that. And I think if I'm gonna carry the Gavel Carry, I think my thing would be to have it with the 16-gram CO2 in there. I think you'll get the best amount of usage for it. So that would be pretty good. I can see the S2 being a good choice. Yeah, it is a good choice in that setting. It's all, mine is not modded. Really, there's not too much you could do to the S2, and you don't need to. I carry it more for chemicals than kinetics, and it's perfect. I carry it with the Duke pepper rounds in there, the Duke Extreme, and I keep, an extra tube of them, and I also keep the kinetics too with me, just in case I had a rowdy animal, or I had a car windshield, I had a car window that I had to take out. I did have a crazy experience a couple of weeks ago. I got to be honest, it was the first time working that I was really, really nervous. I did have somebody that was looking to do harm to another person. And a couple of years ago when I worked there, I mean, a horrible story. We had a guy that was living with a woman, and she was fooling around with another guy from out of the community. And I guess she complained or whatever that the guy was mistreating her. And the guy drove up one night, and he was in our development, and one of our security gave him a ticket, because we give tickets too. We do the same stuff like the police do. And he left. He came back 2 nights later, and he shot the guy and killed him in the house. The guy that she was living with, and I mean, he ruined his life. He ruined that guy's life, and obviously the woman is doing whatever now. And horrible story, but I had a similar experience, and that's why it scared me. The other night I had a guy, and it turned out he was married. He was fooling around with another woman. He was fooling around with the guy's girlfriend, and the guy came up looking for him. And just thank God the guy wasn't acting right, and he wasn't in the right area. And when we pulled him over and asked for ID, we were able to determine what happened. And we talked to the other guy, the guy that was fooling around with the girlfriend. And yeah, it could have went really bad really fast. And I was nervous. He's fumbling around in the car for something, and I was nervous. So it was a pretty crazy story. But can you put some weather stripping? Yes, I did that. I put the weather stripping. Yeah, I carry a 10 millimeter. Yes, I carry a 1911 and 10 millimeter at work. You can put weather stripping over that hole. It will do no harm whatsoever. I use that. I don't know if it's weather stripping. It's like weather clear tape. It's a little thicker than Scotch tape. I put it over that. Maybe I got 1 joule more. I didn't get like a tremendous jump in joules, but it's okay to do. It does no harm, because you could just shake it and the ball will fall out. You don't need that hole to put the little device in. So yeah, domestics are the worst. That's the ones that scare me the most up there. Because we're so far out there, it could take like 45 minutes to an hour just for an ambulance to come. And the nearest state troopers are about 40 minutes away. So that's how we get like the 911 calls, and they'll tell us whether they want us to detain or. And we had another domestic one the other day. Turns out the old lady was beating the guy, her husband or boyfriend with the pots and pans, and he was running out of the house, and she did get in trouble for that too. It's not always the guy that gets in trouble, and yeah, but it's crazy. Thank God he ran. Yeah, bear spray is on. Yeah, I don't use bear spray. I just use the regular stuff. The Duke rounds will work on a bear. I think DK had a video where he had a bear in the yard ripping the garbage, and he hit the ground in front of it, and the bear took off. The other thing, we have a lot of coyotes too. They're all, especially this time of year, they're all over. So that's how I think the deer that I came across with the rabies got it. I think because he had a pretty big chunk missing out of his side, like it was healed up a little bit, scabbed up, but it looked like something bit him like right by his hindquarters. I'm thinking maybe a coyote nipped him and he got the rabies from that, but it was pretty crazy. But yeah, the bear coming out now. So I haven't seen any bear recently. I'm sure I'll see them over the next couple because I work usually the night shift. I work from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's when I usually work. So it's nice working at night like that. You do see all the animals come out. So that's pretty cool. So they need, yeah, lower Caspian. I don't know too much about the bear and the wildlife. I wish I did. Like my specialty is reptiles, but I do like animals. I do like seeing them. Uh, it's really neat up there. We have tons of hawks. Where I live by my house, I have down the block from me a really cool, like you pay to fish and they have the trout and they stock the lakes with them. And you always see bald eagles there. It's like a free buffet for them over there. But yeah, less lethal is definitely, yeah, bucks can be nasty too. I've seen bucks get pretty aggressive. I had a buck once do the thing like the horse. It was taking its front leg, front hoof, and going on the ground. But it didn't go anywhere ever. Oh, cool. You have a pet squirrel. That's really awesome. I always wanted a pet squirrel. And funny, when I lived in New York, I was born in Brooklyn, and then I moved to Staten Island, and I lived in New York for 42 years. And I used to love it when I would go to Manhattan. There's one area, there were all black squirrels. It's called melanistic, and it's a recessive trait. And man, they were so beautiful. They were jet black, these squirrels. So that's I like squirrels. I think they're really, really cool. But Air Guns Anonymous, normal strain pepper spray can permanently damage. Oh, I didn't know that. So that's why it's lower. I had no idea. Oh, yeah, I'm sure your squirrel is awesome, Big B. That's the coolest thing. I'd love to get a squirrel. I have a little dog, a miniature pincher. He's great too. I rescued him. He's like 2 years old. He's wonderful. Who would have thought you were from New York? Yeah, I guess the accent, right? Yeah, Angelo's laugh. It's funny because Angelo grew up with me. We grew up in New York together, and he doesn't have the accent, but he was an English teacher, so he corrected that nonsense. That's what it is. Yeah. I was a phys ed teacher when I lived in New York. I was a phys ed teacher for 20 years. It was a good gig. I had a very nice group of kids, and yeah, we were fortunate, me and him. In fact, the kids that I taught, I was intermediate school. He was high school, so they go from me and they go to him, and then sometimes I'd be able to say, "Hey, you have so and so this year." We'd be able to compare about that. But yeah, it was a good gig. It really was. I liked it, so we retired from that. Uh, you sound like one of those Bensonhurst guys. Yeah, I guess I do sound like a Bensonhurst guy. When I was a kid, I didn't live in Bensonhurst. I lived outside of Bensonhurst. It was called Bay Ridge Dyker Heights, and that's where I was born. And I did live over there. And I went to elementary school there. I went to college there too. I went to St. Francis College downtown Brooklyn. That was fun. And I was engaged to a girl from Bensonhurst area, and thank God that didn't work out. So
7:30.
what?
7:30. I don't know how many.
Oh yeah, I'll stay on a few more minutes because we had that, glitch with the thing.
I didn't know if you.
Oh, that's cool. You rescued the squirrel as a baby. Yeah. When you rescued the squirrel as a baby, did you have to feed it with like the eye drop, or was it able to eat like, regular food at that time? Oh, Pete, you grew up in Sheepshead Bay. Where? I dated a girl on East 17th and Avenue U. I used to always go blue fishing off those little the charter boats off Emmons Avenue, Pete. Do you know what I'm talking about? I grew up around Benson. Where'd you grow up? I gotta know where you guys grew up now. So I gotta find out, where'd you grow up around Bensonhurst? Pete's Grill in Sunnyside. I don't know Pete's Grill in Sunnyside. Okay, Avenue X and 21st Street. Okay, so Avenue X, so you were up by like Lemoore, right? Was that where Lemoore's, like the Rock House was, or the nightclub over there back in the day? There was a famous restaurant on Ocean Avenue called, Lundy's. I had my graduation from college at Lundy's. That's where I went afterwards for my graduation at college at Lundy's closed down, then it reopened again. Now it's not there no more. Now I think it's Cherry Hill. It's a Russian like supermarket or something. Yeah, Lundy's was great. They had good seafood back in the day. Okay, so back in the 70s. Then they closed. They opened again in the 90s. They reopened, but it didn't last long. It was like, it was a shot in the dark, and like maybe 3-4 years, and they went out of business. Yeah, we fed her fruit and veggies until she could chew on the nut. Yeah, that's really cool. So man, that's awesome having a squirrel. I think that's the neatest thing. Yeah, that whole area. I know. My ex-wife was from there, and I know the deal. So that's all I'll say. Man, stuff changed pretty quickly now around Bay Ridge. Yeah, I love growing up in Bay Ridge. I lived around the corner from Lamps of China, for those years that might remember that. It was awesome. Back in the day, Bay Ridge was fantastic. I was baptized at St. Patrick's Church up there, and it was good stuff. Yeah, but everything changes. Sometimes it's for the better, sometimes it's not. It's still pretty clean. I get back there every once in a while. I go there. Not often. I haven't been, there in probably 3 years, 4 years, but, most of my family, it's all here now in Pennsylvania, so, I really don't go back there unless there's something. My wife's grandmother, she lives in Long Island still, so sometimes we'll go out to visit her out in Seaford, Long Island and stuff, but, and that's when I go over there, I'll get, my Italian goodies. Angelo's parents were still on Staten Island, so he goes once a week or so, and he brings back bread and cheesecake and things like that from the Italian place. But yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, there was actually, when I lived in New York is when I first got into less lethal. I did this bounty hunting over there legitimately. I got my license because I was a teacher, so I was able to teach the course over there, and we weren't allowed to carry firearms. And I used to carry a JPX pepper blaster, not the pepper blaster, the real one, the JPX Pixie and the Cobra, the 2-shot one. It was before they had the 4-shot one, and that's how I got into. That was the first less lethal I had. I carried that, and I never had to use it on anybody, thank God. But yeah, that's what made me first get into it, which was pretty cool. But I'm going back. That was like maybe early 2000s, like mid 2000s. Yeah, the whole area is man, stuff changed very fast. Air guns are pretty much illegal. Yeah, I believe that anything is illegal in New York now, unless you're a criminal. Then being a criminal is legal, but everything else is illegal. That's the way it is. Just forget about it. No joking around. Really, forget about it. Yeah, it turned out that way, but yeah. So we'll try to not even think about that. There's supposed to be a license, but you can't. Yeah, they make everything. Well, California is a little much better than New York. I mean, you can have air power, you can have less lethal. You just can't have chemicals, I think, in California. You can, unless you have that special permit, but you can have air guns out there. You can have the high powered ones. You can have all the less lethals out there. So you have way more freedoms out there than you do in the five boroughs. In the five boroughs, they're not gonna let you have anything over there. They're gonna rip you apart. So yeah, and like everything else, you'll be paying fines up the gazoo. And Jersey's the worst. Forget it. New York City's better than Jersey. So Brandon, yeah, my first less lethal was the Glock. I like those less lethal 43s. Too bad they're not powerful enough. If somebody, listen, I joked around. I reached out to Rat once on his thing, and I don't know what the hell he was doing. He was making pepper balls, and he was saying that they were good. I told him, you better make them in 43 caliber. You clean house. If you can make a good 43 caliber pepper ball, those 43 caliber, they're everything they fit. You could go to Alien Gear, buy all the holsters. You could carry those things beautifully. I use the Lancer pepper balls bother me. I don't care if they're weak or not. I'm a sissy. When it comes to chemicals, I had to get pepper sprayed when I was a probation officer, and it sucked. I hated it. And I've shot those little pepper balls in the room. It works on me. Some people, they say it doesn't, but me, it works. And I think if you had a good pepper ball in 43 caliber, those 43s are great. They're really a cool thing. Pepper ball, yeah, they are. I agree with you, Black Powder Papa. They're devastating, those freaking pepper balls. I would hate to do it. And what's even worse is if you don't decontaminate right, if you don't bend over in the shower and that stuff runs down you, man, goodness gracious, great balls of fire, Jerry Lee Lewis, you're going to be running and screaming, running around the house. Trust me, I know. It's horrible. So yeah, I'm a big fan of pepper balls. I think they're awesome. So I learned something new tonight that the bears, you have to use a lower dosage on them because it could permanently damage them. I did not know that. Yeah, it's not easy. I was able to use large size sticky holster. Yeah, yeah. How do you like those sticky holsters? I've never tried them. They look pretty cool though. You got your 43 pepper balls from John. Oh yeah. Well, I wonder what kind he gets. He actually does a lot with the 43 stuff. He carries a wide variety. So he probably would know. I just don't know who makes them other than Lancer Tactical. I've never seen other 43 caliber ones unless some guys make them and sell them on eBay or something, if they still let you do that. Burnamax constantly breaks on me. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I was actually thinking for a while of buying some Dukes, putting on my respirator and suiting up, cutting them open and filling little 43 capsules with the Duke here and making little ones to carry in those 43s. I think that's something we should do a video on. I could suit all up and we can break open some Dukes and make little 43 ones and see how they work. That might be a cool idea. I was trying to pull the spring down on my S2 magazine and it came off. Yeah, that little track. I know what you're talking about. Mags are rather cheap, but I like the. Yeah, I love the S2. I mean, it's just listen, it's like having a Byrna LE, honestly, only bigger. It's not as compact and easy to carry, but the power is decent and it's so reliable, and I don't have a problem with it. It's just a really good thing. I was trying to. My name is Monstar. Hey, we got a guy from Egypt. Wow, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the group. This is cool. Do you guys have less lethal in Egypt? Do they allow you guys to? What are the laws like over there in Egypt? Are they strict? John's a custom made. That's what I figure. You have to go to his website. Okay. So John has custom made 43. That's the only way to do it. But yeah, I'm thinking just take a couple of Dukes, put the respirator on, put a mask on, go outside and do it outdoors and see what happens. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, Monteser. I think that would be cool. I'd love to know what the rules are over there in Egypt. And if they have less lethal where you are, that would be pretty cool. Well, this was really an awesome live chat. I know we got off the topic. I just like getting to know you guys when we talk. Sometimes I go off on tangents and everything. I was trying those new jewels out. Before I go, I was trying those new jewels out. Maybe tonight I'll do a video later on with the long MCS barrel. And I just get a reading of 00. I know the chronograph, it's the yellow, it's this one. Where the hell is it? I have it right here. It's the one that goes up to 600 feet per second. I can't believe that they would be, there has to be something I'm doing wrong. So tonight I'm gonna try it again on video, but I have this one, the yellow one that goes up to 600 feet per second, the X radar, and I kept on getting 0000, so I don't know. So I just, you know, I have to see. Hey, how you doing, young gun? All right, what does it mean when they say New York and California so New York and California compliant or Massachusetts compliant, that means that the magazine can only hold 8 or 10 rounds, depending on what the law is in the state. I think it's 10. You can't have a magazine that holds like 15 or 17 rounds. So it has to be set up for just that. And then I think there might be with certain larger rifles, there might have something to do with, I don't know too much about rifles and shotguns. I really know a lot about pistols. But they might have to do something with certain triggers and things like that. But I know it's the magazine capacity for pistols. That's New York compliant and California compliant. DK said they don't fire out of. Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to see what happens. Maybe they're too big. Hey, Bandit. He's on here. Yeah, there's different radar. That one goes up to 600 feet. There's one that only goes up to 400. I think that's the red one. So I'm not sure. I mean, pepper. All right, no pepper rounds. All right, Big B and okay, thanks. I'm just reading. Limit, yeah, 10 per mag. That's what I thought. In California, it's 10 per mag. I know it's the same thing in Massachusetts, and I think it's same thing. I don't know what New York and New Jersey are, but I got to be honest. With 1911, I'm only carrying 8 rounds in that thing, and one in the pipe is 9 usually. You know, the FBI statistic, we know what they say, 3 to 5 shots is all it takes. And honestly, I'm glad people get into that. I know about the rights and the 2A, and I'm all into that. But you got to realize in today's day and age, whatever comes out of a barrel potentially has a lawyer attached to it. So if one round comes out, whether it's a less lethal or a lethal, it's going to have a lawyer. If you shoot 5 or 6, it potentially could have 5 or 6 lawyers, depending on who gets hit. So if you think of it that way, you know, and that's why all I need is 110 millimeter. That's it, baby. That's, you know, there's no second guessing a 10 millimeter. So that was, yeah, I thought they were the perfect size. I thought they were, you know what? Hold on. We're going right. Oh, I don't have those jewels up here. I think they're downstairs. I have the barrel here. I was going to see if I could, what's in the box here? Wait a minute. What's the, let me see. Hang on a minute, guys. Is this a jewel or I think this is one of them. I think this is one of them that I have here, the gray ones. Because where's the barrel? Here it is. This should be I have the barrel here, the MCS barrel. And this, yes, this is one of those, they're that grayish looking one. You could see the metal in them. So no, it rolls down the barrel. It fits. Yeah, it's rolling down. Yeah, and this is definitely one of those new jewels. So yeah, it fits down the barrel. I just rolled it down. All right, guys, we're gonna end it here now. I'll talk to you guys next week. I'll shoot a video later on tonight trying to shoot those jewels. out of this barrel and see what I get. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you guys very soon. And yeah, this was awesome. All right. Talk to you guys later.